Good evening. Welcome back. I'm your host, the man on willpower. Today we'll be venturing into modern cinema. Have we discussed a movie this new yet?
No, this is a baby. This movie
This
is
is a
a
baby.
fresh out the womb.
Oh, and I
Like,
forgot to introduce my co-host, but he's already made himself known. It's Dante, Triple Stash, speaking from pre-grave.
yes. Pleasure to be back in the shed.
Yeah, yeah, we're out here
Always
in the
always
shed.
a fine day out in the shed,
I don't
even
know.
in
I don't know what
this
happened to the other guys.
sub-freezing weather.
They're
Yeah.
in a blizzard in Florida or something.
Yeah. Yeah, what is the temperature in the Pacific Northwest?
Quite nice.
Mm,
50s?
really?
Yeah.
Wow,
And it was sunny. It's been sunny.
it's pretty sunny here
Hmm.
in northern New Jersey, but it is frigid as a motherfucker. It's pretty darn cold.
Well, maybe you should relocate to the PNW. I think these winters are the most overblown, cried about things ever. This
Yeah, I
might be
do.
unusually nice, but this is
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
good.
curious. What is it normally like?
I
Will
think
it stay that temp?
it's normally rainy, but I don't think it gets below the 40s generally.
Mm,
But I'm looking at the forecast right now. 52, 50, 55, 57, 56,
that's
56.
warmer than Florida. That's literally warmer
Yeah.
than Florida.
Seattle's north of Maine, yet warmer than Florida. Really makes you think.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe relocate if you're looking for a more mild winter.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
certainly gets the noggin jogging.
I've been thinking about relocating back to the East Coast, but after seeing those 20 degrees, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about
Yeah,
those 18-degree days.
they're not fun. They really are not fun.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we are doing something a bit different today to get us started. There's
Mhm.
some various orders of business I think we have to go over. The first one is you might be a homeowner. Tell the audience a bit more about this. I
Oh,
think they'll be
yes.
dying to know.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. So, yeah, I believe that I'm going on to home number one
Hmm?
in South Jersey, Southern New Jersey, our
Jersey,
old
where
stomping
where in South
grounds.
Jersey?
In in Marmora, my hometown.
Ah, yes, Mamora. Very, very cool. Very cool.
Marmora. But
That's
yeah,
nice. That's nice.
my uncle's a real estate agent in the area, and
Uh-huh.
I'm a closeted real estate agent. I don't like to
Oh, wow.
really advertise that
Okay.
fact about myself. I was one of the few during COVID. Well, really not one of the few, one of the many during COVID who had nothing better to do with their time. So
Yeah.
they got their real estate license, and I was one of them, but
Wow.
I have yet to conduct a single real estate transaction. And honestly, I am perfectly fine keeping it that way.
Nice.
It's just kind of another notch in my rather stubby bedpost, like like
What's that
George
from?
Costanza,
Oh, yeah.
the
Tale of
tale of
Two
two
Shorts.
George.
Oh, you got a YouTube
Yes,
short then.
indeed.
Like, I got to get around to making a nice
Yeah,
YouTube short
but
for
yeah,
that one.
thank you for bringing up my financial burden to come.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, congrats on being able to find a home in this economy.
I know,
Back in the day, you could just be 18 and spend
right?
$10,000.
Yeah, you just get fresh out of battle-torn Europe, come home, and the government hands you a pre-built home.
Or better yet, in the 1700s, get on a boat and play real life Minecraft and the American
Yes.
colonists. Well, that's getting ahead of ourselves. That's getting too far ahead.
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah, take us
but
into our orders of business.
the orders of
Intrigued.
business. I find there's a lot of miscellaneous topics we should discuss before the shows, but we never do. So we're now employing the orders of business to cover some various things that are of import. Okay, so orders of business. You can see this on the stream, right?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So I will just go through the slide deck and ask for your input where it's needed, and we can make sure we describe things for our audio listeners on Apple and Spotify. The show is available on Apple and Spotify, all episodes up to date. For those complaining about it being too long on YouTube, you can listen to it at the gym on Apple Podcasts. Okay. Well, we did it. We finished the Travolta saga. We set out what we intended to do. Reviewed about 14 movies. Quite impressive. So, I will hand it over to you to give your review of the end of the Travolta saga, particularly the intro.
Saga. The Travolta saga. Yeah, I hope we can get many more miles out of that Gotti intro. It's just so it's a staple. I think it's a staple.
You think I was scared we'd abuse it, but you think we should keep using it?
I do like it. I like seeing it in its many different iterations.
Do you want to hear the voice I was going to do for the Analytics?
Yes, I do.
I'll give you a little taste.
Manchester United is the greatest fucking city in the world. How dare you?
Oh my God!
How God!
Yeah, we should do the full version in front of this.
You know, we might have to. We might have to.
We might just have to put a Gotti intro in front of every video. I feel like I'm not tired of it yet because you can always vary it.
True. There is. You might say that.
With endless options for renewal.
There truly are. There's so many possibilities.
There really are.
Unlimited.
I'm surprised no one's had this idea yet to make it the intro for everything. It's so iconic.
Gold. Truly struck gold.
Truly a great film for giving us that.
Yeah, the one good thing that it gave us.
Yeah. What'd you think of the intro though, with the little montage of Travolta?
I loved it. Mm-hmm. It was the amuse-bouche to a finale of epic proportions, I must say. And it was nice to get to relive those moments.
Absolutely.
Throughout our journey with Travolta, because I found myself in sort of a kinship with Travolta. You know, he was someone that really occupied no space in my mind for the longest time. And then for the past 5 months, he's somebody whose name I probably thought of, if not every day, at least every other day. I thought of John Travolta. I would see something on the street walking to work and I would think, oh my God, John Travolta. But yeah, that intro was really nice.
I'll be honest, I had a bit of a tear in my eye watching the old clips of Vinnie Barbarino.
Yeah, those were the glory days.
Yeah, Travolta's always just lived in my subconscious, and then he came to the front. I would say you might have thought more about Travolta than your own parents, perhaps, in the past 5 months.
I think I did.
Maybe more than yourself.
Probably. Probably. And I guess it's just part of the human condition to want to try to relate to people, but I think Travolta is someone that I found myself trying to relate to on so many different levels through his performances.
I hope he wasn't in the Epstein emails.
God! Oh!
How dare you?
He better not be.
If he's in the files, he's still awesome. It is what it is. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'd probably be a little shocked, but I wouldn't be surprised if his name was.
I feel like his tastes are probably weirder than Epstein Island.
Ooh, yeah.
I think I actually saw on the Instagram he posted videos of him skiing recently.
Really?
I guess those adrenochrome shots are coming in. Anyway, let's keep pace. The initial reviews are in for the Travolta saga. On the screen, we have some of the reviews. It's 8 frames of people saying, "I'm not happy." This is a bit of an exaggeration. People were actually happy. They just had some critiques, but overall they were amused. Now,
Good.
I
They
actually
should be.
tried the Applebee's OM cheeseburger a
Did
few
you
weeks ago,
really?
but forgot to mention it on the show. Yeah,
Whoa,
I kept
whoa.
referring to it as the Om burger,
What did you say?
like in meditation. But then my one friend, and then my one friend corrected me, said it's the OM cheeseburger, like OMG.
Oh.
All in all, a pretty good burger. The queso puddle was a little runny,
Ooh.
but I was still able to dip, and there was some shredded cheese like you'd get directly out of a bag on it that didn't quite melt. I wasn't happy about that. The bun was probably full of seed oils, but the burger was good. I think overall I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. And I'll probably be back at Applebee's for another one, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't had the OM cheeseburger, but I have had a plain cheeseburger from Applebee's in the past, and I ranked it pretty high among the cheeseburgers that I've had. I do in a different life. I was probably a cheeseburger connoisseur or craftsman. I was probably like a what do you call them? Like the 2010s hippies who left their corporate job to open a brew pub and serve burgers on pretzel buns.
Yes,
I was probably one of those people in a different life.
A $30 burger.
Yeah.
Artisanal. With
Yes,
the crab.
Artisanal
Wait,
burger.
it's like the from Fix It with Eric Hayden.
Yes.
They put eggs on those things. Got this Lost Dog IPA.
Jeez, dude.
Downstairs, we got a brew pub going in. They're teaming up with the guys from Lost Dog Distillery. Those are the guys that make the Broken Bicycle IPA. Absolutely love this. They serve burgers. They have eggs on top of those things. Cold beer. It's got that fat Dalmatian and that hop shark. Best part is they got those frosty glasses. You fill them right to the top, just enough hit.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's the archetype of what
I'm glad you had a good experience with the OM cheeseburger.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
What is I'm curious what your take of shredded cheese is. Are you a shredded cheese kind of guy?
Shredded cheese on what? I like it melted. I don't think maybe on a taco.
Well, how about this? When you get shredded cheese, are you someone who buys shredded cheese pre-shredded, or will you get a block of cheese and shred it yourself?
I've only just been eating cheese again recently, so I've occasionally bought it in a bag already shredded.
Yeah.
But I think it's more convenient.
It is more
the
convenient.
More respectable answer is shredding it. What about you? Are you a shredder?
Yeah. Well, I honestly, more recently, yes, I've become a shredder. I used to be I am a juicer. I am a juicer, and now I'm a cheese shredder because I guess I read somewhere recently that, and I think it's pretty self-evident when you actually eat pre-shredded cheese, but they cover the shredded cheese in starch or something.
I know they use an anti-caking agent.
Yeah, to keep it from like sticking together and melding into one giant block of cheese.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. Maybe I should shred mine.
But yeah, that like shredded cheese that doesn't fully melt, I have issues with that. I have issues with shredded cheese that doesn't fully melt.
Yeah, I think shredding your own cheese and juicing your own fruit is an excellent way to ward off your existential dread. So
what's going on, big guy?
Highly recommend. And then I went to another burger place in Seattle, and they had a giant barrel of that said sugar on it, and another giant barrel next to it that said MSG on it.
Oh! Whoa! Wow!
A place that only does burgers.
No way!
Yeah.
The MSG's burger.
The MSG. Oh, that's good. That's good. The MSG burger. It was pretty good, but I mean, it was probably loaded with MSG. So.
MSG sure is tasty. I've never seen it in barrel form, though. That's That's pretty wild.
Come to PNW and we'll go to the MSG Burger. Their fries were not
Yummy.
great. And I went
That's
to
a
get a
shame.
cup of coffee in Seattle yesterday, and there was a homeless man with really big sweatpants on, fiddling with the pant strings outside while I drank my coffee.
Oh, that's that's unfortunate. Poor fella.
I think the city government needs to do something. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right, moving on. I wanted to include this. Travis sent this in the chat. I thought it was really funny. He said he asked ChatGPT to generate him an image of an ice raid, and it generate for our audio listeners. In era accurate graphics from 2008 World of Warcraft, it generated the raid Ice Crown Citadel with a few, I guess, of his friends at it instead of an ice raid. I mean, it still is an ice raid, but it's not the kind he was getting at.
That's pretty
Very
hilarious.
Very, very hilarious.
And I frankly don't have much World of Warcraft knowledge.
Yeah.
So even I was a little perplexed at first, and then when I like read what his caption was, I was like, oh,
yeah.
What is going through ChatGPT's brain, if it has one?
Yeah, does ChatGPT have a brain?
Is it sentient?
I don't know. But I think it probably is too politically correct to depict an ice raid, and it probably saw he was playing WoW, so it did this. For context, it's very simple. A raid is a 25-man group that does content together, and Ice Crown Citadel was something you would raid with 25 people. So an ice raid is referring to that.
Wonderful.
Right. I thought that was funny. I thought it was worth including. Anyway, moving on. The buzzer.
Yes.
Has entered the chat. I know our dear listeners.
Wait, can you say that again? Say the has entered.
Yeah,
the
sure.
chat.
So we added a buzzer.
I just wanted to throw the horn blarer in after that.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna actually hit the buzzer, but okay.
Oh, I can. You want to give the listeners
hit it so
a
they
taste?
can hear. Yeah, give them a taste.
Well, here, hit me with an and a like.
So I went to Starbucks and got a latte and yeah. That's we'll be correcting the speech issues. They never taught us how to speak in public school, so
yes,
it is what it is.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad that
Muppet
we're
show.
Instituting this.
Yeah.
Whoa, a new Muppet show.
Did you have anything more to say on the buzzer before we go into Muppets?
I guess one piece about the buzzer. It should be socially acceptable to do that to people in real life. Just buzz them. And people should be fine with it. You shouldn't protest it.
It's for their own good.
We'll all grow as a society.
I was telling some other people, I've instituted the policy of, I might bleep this on the show, but retard maxing, where I just don't think or hesitate and do and project total confidence at work, and I don't say or ever. And my boss was giving me feedback. He was saying, "Nick, you seem very good this half."
Wow.
I said thank you, thank you. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, for our young up and coming Gen Alphaers and Zoomers we're Zoomers. But if you're entering the workforce, definitely just don't ever say maybe or I think or or and you'll do well.
Yes. Indubitably.
Anyway, new Muppet Show. Now, my hopes are not that high for this because it's made by Seth Rogen. So we have a drop for Seth Rogen. I'm not really a fan of that guy.
We do.
Okay, cool. so he's making this show, but it does have Sabrina Carpenter, and she's pictured here next to Miss Piggy. This could be good, despite Rogen.
Wait, is Sabrina Carpenter pictured next to Miss Piggy, or is that John Travolta as Edna Turnblad? I can't tell.
I'm
How
not sure. We'll
dare
need to feed that into GPT to check. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's. I'm not sure. People found the Edna Turnblad stuff really funny in the Travolta Awards.
Yeah, Edna.
Okay,
Queen. Our queen.
okay. I'm going to jump around here a bit. We were talking earlier. Eating takes too long. I don't know if you have anything else to say on that. Kylie Jenner has new slop coming out, right?
Yeah, she does. Well, I think with the advent of the slop bowl, that's getting people to eat faster. I think.
Yeah, Chipotle should just blend it and give you a straw.
You know, and like things. Oh, hit me.
Sorry, I was sipping my coffee. I'll hit you.
Things such as the sandwich, the taco, the burrito, those creations had to walk so that the slop bowl could run. We wouldn't.
Yes.
I don't think we would have slop bowls if we didn't have sandwiches, because sandwiches vastly increased the amount of time it took to eat. Frankly, you just throw whatever you were going to eat with a fork and knife onto 2 pieces of bread, and you're done in half the
And you
time.
can load the bread with seed oils and preservatives, so it lasts forever on the shelf.
Wait,
I love bread.
was it Taylor who sent that video of some guy running a piece of white bread under a faucet and wringing the piece of bread out like a sponge, and it totally held its shape?
I wanted to try this experiment, man, with Walmart wheat bread just to see if it's true. Bro, this ain't no fucking bread, dog. I don't fuck with Walmart anyway, but I don't know what the fuck this is. But this a motherfucking sponge or something, nigga. Like, this is crazy.
Video.
I find bread really gross. I actually never ate lunch in school because my parents would always pack me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with white bread and thought it was disgusting.
Yeah, white bread. I'm not a fan of white bread.
My IQ would probably be 25 points higher if I didn't eat all that shit. But
yeah. Eating does take too long.
Yeah, eating's too long. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about was I'm starting an audit of GPT cringe. So listeners, if you've noticed your chat GPT being really cringe because it's trained on Reddit, please leave some examples in the comments. I have a few examples up. I asked it how to make refried beans, and it started the response with, "Oh, hell yeah." And then I asked it how to make a quesadilla, and it started talking about how to give it a huge flavor boost.
That's a lot of jerking off.
Cringe.
Cringe.
Movies now have 20 minutes of previews. I rushed to the theater to see Ann Lee. Well, we'll not get into Ann Lee yet, but I rushed to the theater, was 3 minutes late to the movie, and sat through 20 minutes of previews.
The same thing happened to me. I thought I was gonna time it perfectly, where I got into the theater, sat down, and the movie opening credits would roll. But I had to sit through at least 15 minutes of previews, and one of them was Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which I can't lie, did look pretty epic on a movie screen. But I'm gonna reserve any judgment.
I mean, I've already seen the trailer for that. I guess it did look epic on the big screen. I saw it too.
Yeah.
We'll reserve judgment.
Yeah.
We'll reserve judgment until it comes out. My take is if you're in the movie theater and it is a minute past when it said the movie would start and there's previews playing, feel free to do whatever. Take a phone call, go on RedTube, go on Amazon, stretch, dance, do whatever. It's a waste of time. And previews are all cringe.
Speaking of a cringe preview, I saw the Wuthering Heights preview.
Oh, brother.
That was...
I think we probably saw the exact same previews.
We probably
packaged them. Is that with Margot Robbie? That looked like a fake movie from Tropic Thunder.
Devil's Alley.
Yeah.
Going to theaters near you.
With Tobey Maguire, and Robert Downey Jr.
But yeah, it was really cringe.
It looked
I'm
pretty
not-
cringe.
I'm not a huge fan of well, I can't say I'm not a fan of any of it, but I just think it's such a slippery slope taking a piece of classic literature and modernizing it and putting it on
Yeah.
film. It just
Sort of like the Odyssey.
yes.
I think it deserves a depiction, but the Iliad deserves a true proper depiction because Troy sucked, and if no one's going to do it, I will do it with AI, as I've said before.
Oh, that reminds me. One of my coworkers, for whatever reason, don't know why he brought this up, but he was talking about Troy in the office.
Worst movie ever.
And
Actually, second worst is Staying Alive.
oh yeah. but he was raving about the fight scenes in Troy,
No,
and
he wasn't.
I didn't.
No.
It really warped my perception of him.
No. Have you actually read the Iliad?
I have not.
So have you seen the movie Troy though?
I've seen it when it comes on TV. I've never actually dedicated.
Yeah. So
time
you would
to-
say you thought less of him because of this?
Yeah,
Mhm.
a little bit.
Let me-
I don't want to because he is my superior.
You should bring him on the pod for an episode on Troy, just me and him, and I'll
You know, he
obliterate him.
does. He has some very hot takes, so that it might fit in pretty well.
Let me just indulge a little bit in antiquity. So in the film Troy, in the Iliad, the bloodiest battle is after Patroclus gets killed, and the Greeks and the Trojans fight over the body, and tons of people die trying to claim the corpse for one side or the other, and it's pure insanity. In the movie Troy, Hector kills Patroclus, and then they both agree to go back to camp because it's too upsetting.
No!
That's pretty sad.
It's one of
Totally
those.
just a low testosterone movie. Limp,
Fuck you!
flaccid. They ride the horses. They mount the horses, even though in the Iliad they ride chariots. They ride behind the horses. Yet you see Hector mounting a horse. It's so shit.
Mm.
It's garbage.
Mm-mm.
No gods show up in Troy, yet there's tons of gods in the Iliad.
How dare you?
Agamemnon is played by a 56-year-old man or something. Maybe I should do an episode of a before we talk. I would like to talk about the Iliad and the Odyssey before Nolan's Odyssey comes up. It would be fun to rip on Troy for an episode because that movie is a stinker, man.
Yeah, we have to make that happen.
Yeah, definitely. We'll
must.
definitely read the Iliad though. It is Kino. All right, and now we got a really juicy. Well, let me pull up a picture of Zeno. Wait,
We have to
who the
see-
hell? How do you spell the philosopher's name? We're just gonna on the fly.
I don't know.
edit this. We're good. We're good.
Oh,
image
I
insert.
thought.
Oh, you
I
can't
thought-
insert an image. Fuck me.
I thought you were talking about Xenu.
Oh no, we're done with Zeno. I'm talking about Zeno.
Well, wait. A very interesting thought popped into my mind. We need to see if ChatGPT or one of these, maybe Elven Labs or something, I don't know,
Yeah.
can recreate Battlefield Earth where Johnny Goodboy's pulling silver bars out of Fort Knox, but instead of gold bars, it's silverware to give to Turl.
Oh, that's on China. And
Yeah.
so listeners, we got a paradox from Zeno who came up with many paradoxes. So correct me if I relay this incorrectly,
Mhm.
but suppose a beloved family member gifted you some fine silverware, and the value of silver's gone up quite a bit. Would
Jamie, let's get a chart of the price of silver as a sidebar.
Wait, actually, oh, he must have sold.
Whoa.
We see a chart.
Whoa. Oh
He
my
must have sold
God.
this set.
What? That was literally oh my God, this was a day ago when it.
I'm
Holy
telling you,
shit.
it did because he sold the set. It tanked the market.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Anyway, it's still up though, relative.
Yeah.
So suppose you got a set of fine silverware from a beloved family member who we need to get on the podcast.
Yes.
And the price of silver skyrocketed, right? Would you A, keep the silver, B, sell it and don't tell your family member, or C, sell it and do tell your family member? What do we think, chat?
Yeah, this was quite the paradox.
What was your answer, Dante?
My answer was to sell it and tell the family member. But
I disagreed.
Yeah, you disagreed, and so did Travis.
I don't know if I elaborate. I said sell, don't tell.
Sell, don't tell, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Travis said that he wouldn't sell it because he's
a boomer.
He's a boomer. He's a boomer. I thought it was so funny how Taylor gave us someone gave us 3 options and everybody picked
I didn't even think about that though. We didn't pick it. We all picked 3.
Yeah.
I guess we all embody different spirits. Maybe Taylor will be caught in choice paralysis. What was your reasoning for selling and telling?
My reason for selling and telling is because I also happen to have family members who are incredibly sentimental.
Yeah.
And I've been gifted things that hold sentimental value to said people. But those people are not as forgetful. So I know that if I because the things that they have given me, some of them still hold some sort of use or value, but other things just literally take up space.
Boomers have no idea what's going on about so much, yet they weirdly keep track of what they gifted you 5 years ago. They don't know how to use technology or anything, but they do know they gifted you fine silverware 5 years ago. Yeah. I think if you give someone something, you should not expect them to keep it.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I agree that once you relinquish something to another person, you no longer have any claim over it. Whether or not your great-grandfather carried the box of silverware up his ass during the Vietnam War when he was held in a Vietnamese prison.
Yeah, whether Christopher did that or not.
Yeah.
I mean, what if as a thought experiment, what if I gifted you a squat rack? And I expected you to just find a place for it.
Oh my God.
It's a bit absurd to expect.
Well, that's an interesting thing because you could get some utility out of that. That isn't totally useless.
Yeah, you could fuck up your back like I did. But,
yeah.
It's silverware. What are you can go to Target and get silverware. It's just I think my reasoning against sentimentality, because sentimentality is just you trying to hold on to something. But I listened to a lot of Alan Watts, who came up with the phrase Gavara Dak El Rav, right?
Oh yes.
He says that when you're born, you're falling off a cliff. And you see other things like sentimental objects and governments and churches and trees and nature, and you try to hold on to them, but they're all just falling off the cliff with you. So there's really nothing to hold on to. As to why not to be sentimental and keep it. As why not to tell. I mean, you're gonna cause a problem you don't need to. it could happen that you need to confront them, but why make more trouble for yourself than is needed?
Let me tell you something. Manchester is the greatest fucking city in the world. My city. I'll preach the gospel in these streets. I got hit on me head with a rock. This life ends one of two ways. Dead or jail. Or did both.
So we finished all the Travolta movies. We're doing a few PTA movies, but I'm something of a esotericist. I'm not sure if that's a word, but I'm plugged into channels that are talking about niche kinos and underappreciated gems. So I think I saw a YouTube thumbnail talking about how the Testament of Ann Lee based its cinematography on old artwork or something. I can't find that source, so maybe I hallucinated it.
If you can find it, that would be.
It had me very intrigued, to say the least, and I could definitely see it. So, and then I saw that it did really poorly, and no one saw it. So I thought, oh, this is very esoteric. And I haven't been to a theater very often in the past few years, only to see the Avatar movies. So I said, "Oh God, new me. I'm bringing back the 2016 energy this year." And I went to the movies, and I saw The Testament of Ann Lee. And I will ask you your thoughts, but I normally start off the discussions by asking other people's thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But I will start off by saying I was a big fan, and I bullied you into watching this.
I must say, I've never been more pleasantly surprised by being bullied into doing something, because I agree with you. I was blown away. I was blown out by The Testament of Ann Lee.
I don't like ranking things. I find it a bit cringe. But I don't know if I've ever had a more transcendent experience watching a movie than seeing this in theaters. This was the first thing I wanted to bring up was, have you seen The Sopranos when Phil Leotardo, after Johnny Sack cries, he says, "My estimation of Johnny Sack as a man just about fucking plummeted."
Yes.
So after seeing this, I was thinking, well, my estimation of Amanda Seyfried as an actress just about skyrocketed. I only saw her in, I think, Twin Peaks, and she was a pretty minor role there, but this is one of the best performances I've seen.
Yeah, and so well said.
I think this movie had a plot, but this wasn't like watching a movie and following a plot. It was more like having an experience and being hypnotized for 2 hours. And when it ended, there were only 2 or 3 other people in the theater, but we just stared at the credits for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What was your take?
Yeah, my experience very closely mimicked yours. Well, frankly, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I think I had Googled the movie before, and I had just the basic knowledge that A, it was a musical, B, it's about the Shakers, and C, Amanda Seyfried's in it.
That's all I knew too. I knew it was sort of a musical and had Amanda Seyfried. It was sort of about the Shakers. Didn't know anything else.
Yeah, I had no clue what I was getting into. I really was not expecting to be moved or really transported the way that I was watching this. The one downside about my experience is that for whatever reason, I thought it would be a good idea to get a seat close to the front of the theater. So I did have to crane my neck for most of the movie, which I'm very disappointed by.
Maybe you should go see it again. I sat in the back right in the prime Kino seat, and
But I will say, I a shameless plug here. I did see this at an Alamo Draft House in Lower Manhattan.
Okay.
Which, frankly, I don't think the movie-going experience gets much better than at an Alamo Draft House.
I've never been to one. What's the deal?
So I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's kind of like say Mark Barth. Say he
Mark St. Barth.
Mark St. Barth. Oh no. Say he opened a movie theater. What do you think that he would put in this movie theater if Mark Barth opened a movie
Food.
theater?
I'm pulling up some pictures, so it seems like
Yeah,
there's tables.
it's very centered around food. Yes, each chair has a
There's a
table,
recliner. Oh, damn! This is the
and they
theme of
recline.
Wally.
You're right.
Damn, you
And-
watched Custom of Family and Wally.
Yeah, I really did. And the other thing about it is there's no concession stand. There is a bar. There's a bar
Interesting.
when you get there, where you can pretty much go sit at the bar, treat it like any other bar.
Yeah.
But waiters and waitresses will come by and take your order.
really?
Yeah, you probably could get an OM cheeseburger there if you
Probably.
wanted.
Do they take your order before the movie or
So
after?
it
Not after,
works a
sorry.
couple different ways. You can, before the movie starts, you can order from a waiter or waitress, or you can order through they have some app. But I said fuck that, and I just used my human brain to talk to a fellow human. But during the movie, if you want to order anything else, you have to write it on a slip of paper, and each table has a menu and a slip of paper and a pen, so you can write what you want on the slip of paper. And there's a call button that you can press, and they'll come by, grab your slip, and come back with your food. Really fantastic experience.
That's nice. I'm not sure if I've heard that verb umpress. Could you maybe describe that a bit more?
I wish I could. I made it up on the spot.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It
so
do.
this looks very cool. Why'd you sit so close to the front?
I don't know. I think when I was looking at so I bought my ticket in person. I was going to buy it beforehand, but I just said screw that, because I figured not a lot of people were going to see this.
Mhm.
And I bought it when I got there, and when they presented the theater seating chart to me on that screen in front of the register, I wanted an aisle seat because I knew I was going to have to use the bathroom, which honestly I didn't have to. I'm pissed about that. I literally could not get out of my seat. I was glued to the screen.
You know what the trick is? I just didn't drink that much water beforehand, and I ordered a popcorn with no drink, and the salt sort of absorbs the water in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't have to go at all.
Yeah,
Or maybe it was divine intervention. The big man knew we had to review his Kino.
Yeah, twas it your imagination, or twas it your divine inspiration, Nick? What was
that? Was that quote from the movie? I don't recall it.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Pretty good quote.
There's again. The scene where they're walking through the forest trying to find, what's the name of that plot of land they found?
I can't remember. It's somewhere in New York, though, right?
Yeah, but that character, who pretty much the wealthy guy who was funding the whole expedition, he said that I guess he had some sort of dream or vision, and their Sherpa was asking him,
Sherpa,
whatever you want to call him. I don't know what the right.
I don't know if that's exclusive to the Himalayas, but we'll call him a Sherpa.
But he was asking him how he thought of this, or why he chose this area, and he said, "It was not my imagination, but divine inspiration that led me here."
Well,
And
that
resonated in my mind.
That's an awesome quote. I don't recall that they said that, but it sounds right. There were a lot of awesome quotes in the movie.
There were. But yeah, my movie going experience was great, and frankly, I do think I am going to come back and see this again, because I told some friends about it who want to go see it, and I said I will go again.
I was considering seeing it again last night, but I feel like I need more time to cool down because it was such an intense experience. I will also say, I was thinking about this now. I don't particularly do drugs, and I don't think I can legally tell you to do drugs. But if you were to watch this movie on mushrooms, I think you might commune with the deity. I mean, that would be crazy.
Yeah,
experience.
I think I don't think it would be too crazy to leave that movie thinking that you are the second coming of Jesus, frankly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes, listeners, if you're into that, I can't recommend anything, but I will say I was legitimately getting tingling and chills and in my brain and down my body while watching this movie at parts.
Mm-hmm.
This was really tapping into something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes.
but I will say a disaster of marketing.
Yeah,
Because
what's up with that?
no one's advertised this movie, and there's clips of the soundtrack on YouTube that have as many views as YouTube shorts I made.
Oh God!
So I just like to tell Searchlight Studios to I don't know what to tell them. But what a disaster.
It is funny you mentioned that. I remember seeing some sort of interview with the director who she was explaining that I guess she had been shopping the project around to a couple different movie studios, and she said, and I quote, there was zero industry interest in making this movie.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
I think it could be because they're all Epstein clientele.
Perhaps.
Welcome back.
So we learned about the Quakers and the Shakers in A-Push a little, and it's just boring then. It's just an answer to a test. So that's all I knew was they were something you write down on an A-Push exam. But maybe you could fill out the details a little.
Well, I think my only understanding outside of historical context was shaker furniture, specifically shaker cabinets, shaker chairs. That was something that was always present to me because some of my family members lived close to Amish communities in Pennsylvania. Oh, wow. And yeah, shaker furniture, they're
I never knew about this.
But that's about it. That's about all I knew.
It's more than I knew.
So, yeah, the Shakers.
Mm-hmm.
They do make damn fine furniture, I will say.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I guess did you have more about the actual history you wanted to go into, or?
No, I think Chinaki and what was his name, Clark, they really led us astray. We spent too much time talking about Slow Cousin Eddie.
Who's Slow Cousin Eddie?
That was something Clark made up. I don't know why. I don't remember why. But he always seemed to pop up in any of our discussions about colonial America. Slow Cousin Eddie.
I mean, so I think the movie is not one for one accurate to history, but I think the general outline and spirit of it is pretty in line. They were 18th century English religious movement. I think their main the Quakers are what they came from, right?
Yes,
so the Quakers believed the Quakers believed in a direct relationship with God. However, the Quakers were more family oriented, whereas the Shakers became more their own thing, where they said you can't have sex, you have to do the bodily worship, which I don't know if the Quakers really did, but yeah, they kind of became their own thing and then established in America. And today there's two or three Shakers left because they said you couldn't have children. So sort of a success story in that respect.
Yeah, right? I know. I thought that was so wild watching the movie and not having that understanding beforehand, how they strictly prohibited any sort of pleasure of the flesh.
Yeah. It breathed life into the history
Yes.
It made it not from just something, oh, the Shakers, they were this group, but you really, even if it's not, as I said, totally historically accurate, you get a sense of the spirit of them from the film.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and another kind of, I guess, divergence from the Quaker faith was this. Maybe I am getting this mixed up, but I'm fairly certain the sort of what was it? It's like testifying, not testifying, but I guess announcing your sins. What do they call that?
yes,
Not communion, confession. Thank you.
Hmm.
That confession, pretty much in front of your congregation.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very interesting founding tenet, I
very
guess.
interesting. In Catholicism, at least in modern Catholicism, you confess to the priest one-on-one in
Mm-hmm.
the little, I don't know what.
Yeah, that
the
thread
word
of secrecy, I think, kind of
Yes.
defines confession in the Catholic Church.
Whereas,
because
yes, I want to talk.
Yeah.
Maybe we could start talking a bit about the differences between this and Catholicism, and keep in mind our friend from Florence. So Catholicism is all about the high authority of the church. It's considered, I think, the most legitimate carrier of the Christian faith in terms of history.
Mhm.
I think it has a claim for the longest line back to Christ's disciples or something along those lines. I'm not exactly sure, but it's all structures. And I did CCD. I don't know if you did, but
Oh, I did.
how far did you get in that? Did you do
I got
communion?
I got all the way to confirmation. I made
Wow,
it.
same.
I guess you
Same.
could say I graduated CCD.
Well, as you know, then it's all about memorizing prayers and rules and going to church, and it's sort of a bureaucracy. But
Good way to put it.
the Shaker or the Quaker faith, or some of these, I think baptism or the Baptists are like this, where it's more about a personal relationship with God and not about all these systems. You can sort of just talk to God. And the other thing is there is a very communal nature to it, as you were saying. And the confession is public, but also they sort of, communism's a strong word because they don't really have a government, but they sort of do live like in a communist utopia, at least depicted in the film, where they're not concerned about wealth. They all live together and dance together and work
very
together.
Communal society.
So it makes sense that the confession wouldn't be public. But also the other thing is, I want to talk about the sort of dancing or the movement or the shaking.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of any other, at least in the West, any other sect of Christianity except maybe certain churches where they really get into it. You know what I
Good
mean?
point. Yeah, and
but
another,
in general, no one. You stand rigidly and you worship with the intellect.
Yeah.
You don't feel it. But I find it really, really fascinating how there's a physical component to their worship.
Yeah. Another aspect before we move on to more about the Shakers, but Catholicism is centered around fear of God, and Shakerism or Shakers, for lack of a better definition, is really about rejoicing and worshiping God.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much being beholden to him and fearful of him or her.
Well, them. God's pronoun is them, according to this movie.
Yes, that's another thing that we have to dive into.
We'll discuss that. One of my favorite monologues when it happens, I think it 2 or 3 times. But yes,
yeah,
it is. Because there is this. Well, yeah, Dante's whole thing is about fear, at least in
Mhm.
Inferno, maybe not in the later books, but he was the big Catholic guy who shaped a lot of the thought of the modern Catholics. And yes, it's all about hellfire and brimstone, but I enjoyed that. And it may be
Yeah.
sacrilegious of me as having grown up Catholic, but I feel that I do resonate more with Ann Lee's vision that is not so much about the brimstone, but about doing good and
Mhm.
worshiping.
Yeah, Catholicism is you must obey God or else he will send you to hell. And Shakerism is you must obey God so that way you can have a closer and more intimate relationship with God.
Yes, because it's a good thing to have a relationship with
Mhm.
God. Not that it's I will avoid going to hell. I don't think she ever talks about hell or the
No.
Malabulges. And this is after Dante too, right? So
Mhm.
it's already circulating in the public, probably in England, though England was probably more Protestant at the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it would affect there, but it is very interesting that she says having a relationship with God is you should because it's good, and it gets her through the hardships in her
Oof.
life.
Talk about
I never
hardships.
yeah. Yeah. It's it's very interesting, and you never learn about them at all. So
Mm-mm. Yeah, to the point that you were making about the way that they worship through song and through
yeah, let's talk about
dance.
dancing. This is probably the biggest thing about them, right? Is that they move
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I was very struck by it because it is a very foreign or no, I think foreign's the right word for it. Again,
I think
coming
I
from
imagine Eastern traditions are might be horribly offensive, but I'd imagine Indians would probably dance when worshiping.
yeah,
Can't be
exactly.
sure.
Exactly.
Imagine
No, dance
they
is
are.
rooted in religious worship in India.
Yes.
And it got me thinking a lot about Native Americans,
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
and I was trying to reason in my mind, why so many Anglo-Saxons or WASP type religions they don't incorporate dance into their worship.
Mhm.
I don't have a good reason for why, but I think I found it really refreshing to see white Anglo-Saxons partaking in this sort
Yes.
of worship because normally that's something at least in modern media. I'm talking not just the 21st century, but all throughout the 20th century, even 19th century. Whenever religious foreigners are depicted, they're depicted as dancing around a deity, some sort of pyre. They're chanting, they're beating their chests, they're making strange movements, and
Mhm.
they're kind of branded as what's a good word that isn't overly offensive, but sort of like outlandish
Tribal?
creatures. Yeah, tribal. It just isn't something that existed in
Yeah, there
white
might be a better
people's
word for it.
worship.
I think
There definitely
sadly
is a better
strong. I don't
word for it. But I
I
found
know
it
what you're
really refreshing
yeah.
to witness. Very refreshing.
See the white man like that. Sorry for using the offensive term. See white people like that. Very refreshing. And as I was telling you one day over breakfast, I think this is the way that the European people need to go back to, because as some would say, everything may have collapsed with Plato and Aristotle and their autistic systemization of logic and rules, whereas the pre-Socratics were mystics who had visions of gods and goddesses. And then Aristotle decided to make everything autistic and structured and cataloging everything. And maybe that's just the one of the intellectualization of everything is so built into the West, going back to the Greeks, that maybe it just follows that their religions reflect that and it's all about worshiping with the intellect and not the body.
Yeah.
But there's something really compelling about the way they dance and worshiping with the body, because if you're not going to, and now speak, I personally don't dance at all, though I'm interested in one dancer in particular. His name's John Travolta. Check out the Benign Comedy, the 15-part series or 13-part series.
Shameless plug.
It's sort of, they use God's gift to the fullest extent. I was thinking, what's the point? The worship as depicted in this film is so hypnotizing and powerful that you think, why isn't everybody doing this? You're rejecting half of the gift of, like, what's the point of being an embodied soul if you're not going to use your body?
Yeah, and it's very human too. It's so human. And frankly, it's inhuman to sit at a pew or kneel at a pew and cross your hands. It just doesn't it doesn't feel natural. Dancing, on the other hand, feels natural. Using your arms, your legs, your head, your body to you really are kind of giving all of yourself. You're not just giving your mind, but you're giving
you're just
body.
letting the spirit.
Exactly.
How can you let the spirit flow through you if you can't let it use your whole body?
Boom. One big boom right there.
Yeah. Very, very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah, and to the point, and maybe if you don't want to talk about it now, I think now's a great time to talk about Ann Lee as the mother Ann Lee.
Mother Ann Lee, yes. Let me think if I had anything else to say on the dance. But I'm sure we'll talk about it.
I do have something. Yeah, I'll bring this up later. I'll bring it up later.
The one thing I would table is there is an interesting thing.
Yeah?
We'll table this for now, but I was having the thought that it's like Urban Cowboy, but God is the bull. And they're dancing to God in a sensual way.
Very good.
Okay, but let's talk about Mother Ann. One of my favorite lines in the movie is when she's trying to explain it to the little girl, and she goes, I am your mother, but also your mother's mother. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What about Mother Ann do you want to get into?
Yeah, I loved that monologue when she was talking to the young girl. I also loved when she was talking to the Quakers at that one man's house back in Manchester. I guess the guy, I don't remember his name, whoever really, they offered their house and funding to the Shakers.
I sadly struggle to recall a lot of the names other than Anne and William, but I think just describe what they
But
did.
yeah, she gives this mesmerizing monologue when they're leading a service, and she does point out that it's uncommon for a woman to be a preacher and to lead a worship.
Ann Lee?
Yeah, Ann Lee says all this, and she goes on to pretty much proclaim herself as the second coming of Christ.
But don't we get that monologue? The monologue in England is with the other woman first, right? It's the wife.
Wait, that's a good point. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up.
Because in England, maybe she does it again in England, but we get the same monologue twice. Where in England, it's the wife of the parish leader.
That's a great point.
She talks about the second coming of Christ as a woman, and then I think Ann Lee gives the same monologue in the Americas. I want to say her brother gives it too. I can't recall that well, but it's. Yeah, describe the monologue to our listeners. It's one of the most mesmerizing.
It really is. It really is. But she goes, well, maybe the starting point is wrong, but she does mention how original sin was committed with Adam and Eve, but also that God created both Adam and Eve. He created both man and woman, and therefore God must be both male and female.
They say that they created humanity in God's image, therefore God must be man and woman, which makes sense.
Yeah. I was mesmerized.
And then after that they say, so if God's man and woman and he came as a man the first time with Christ, then it only follows that the next time he'll come as a woman. And when this woman says it, I think you see Ann Lee, and she's just all into it, like oh,
she
that could,
embodies it so. Ann Lee, but also Amanda Seyfried's portrayal of Ann Lee. I thought it was so refreshing, not only to see the Shaker and the way that they worship, but also to see someone like Ann Lee who is so unabashedly convicted in her belief that isn't something like work or cryptocurrency or some mindless bullshit. She was
like a stupid podcast about John Travolta.
No!
but to see her unwavering belief in her beliefs was so refreshing, and
it's
especially
not done. It's not done in a derisive way. I was thinking that one of the terms that popped into my head when watching this was the ecstasy of faith. Amanda Seyfried legitimately looks like she's on drugs while worshiping. She's legitimately high on God, and I don't think I've ever seen a film have this film does a lot that I've never seen in another movie. It has the moxie to depict faith in such a passionate way that's unapologetic, and it doesn't fall into any tropes really. I did enjoy. I think it's hit me with the buzzer. I think it's William who is having a gay relationship, right?
Yes.
So I found this interesting. Typically in modern culture, at least, they say, oh, they're all the people that are really Christian or anti-gay are suppressing their homosexuality. And I guess the Shakers wouldn't necessarily be against homosexuality because they were against fornication. But it's not that the character is a hypocrite. It's that he understands he has these desires, and then he changes once Ann Lee tells him that she's Christ. It's very interesting. They recognize they have these urges, and then they have the willpower to overcome them. I think the one other topic that popped into my head while we're here is the confession scenes. There's a few of them. They're very interesting, and one is later on that maybe we can get to later in Americas. But I will say about both of them, the first one is about the man who says he has lustful thoughts about his sister.
Oh yeah.
And the second one is about how a woman wishes she could kill her child, and it's very interesting because neither of them are actions they did. So in Catholicism, we never actually, at least I was never taught to confess for bad thoughts.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I think you should, but it's very interesting. They want you to actually purge impure thoughts.
Yeah. That did not strike me, that both of those instances, they're not talking about things that they did, but things that they thought about, which is really getting the noggin jogging.
I think it's asking for a higher level of purity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot to ponder.
So what are your thoughts on the music and the sound? How about you lay it out for us, Trash?
Let me tell you. I don't want to read verbatim off my notes, but the music was hauntingly beautiful. Beautiful. And I felt you can pick up on the religious tonation of the music. It does carry this sort of religious weight.
They're old Shaker hymns, I think, that were repurposed and that were modernized.
Yeah, but the interesting thing about them is that they didn't carry sort of weight that at least religious music that I've been exposed to through the Catholic Church, it didn't carry that weight, because when I think about religious music, I think about a tabernacle choir,
Yes.
something in that same vein that is very loud and proud and almighty.
Elaborate, baroque.
Yes, very elaborate. This music, it accomplished that same thing without being elaborate and over the top.
It's very intimate.
Yeah, very intimate. That's a great way to put
intimate. It's often very chant-like,
it. Mm-hmm.
and it just hypnotizes you. I also want to say I really, really loved all the singing in the movie.
Yes.
And it didn't. I was trying to think about how I describe this, and maybe you can help me out. I think rough is a strong word, but the singing didn't sound Broadway perfect. It sounds almost like they can't control their voices. Like the worship is too much.
It's very raw.
The ecstasy of it. And even there's times when the music sort of, there's dissonant parts of it and it goes out of key. Like it's there's just too much energy coming out to control. And it's really good. I really enjoyed Williams singing in particular. Obviously, Amanda Seyfried's amazing.
Amanda Seyfried, insane. William, actually, the actor is, if you're familiar with Bill Pullman, it's Bill Pullman's son who plays the role of William. Bill Pullman is a good actor, in my opinion. He was in Spaceballs.
Well, I've never seen Spaceballs, but I'll take your word on it.
Yeah, I don't remember his first name, but yeah, whoever played William, whatever his name was, he did a really fantastic job.
Let's look up. He deserves.
Let's give him his flowers. He deserves it.
Jamie, pull it up.
And even outside of the songs, the music that accompanied the scenes,
yes,
I found
Lewis Pullman.
There he is.
The modern Danny and Sandy, perhaps? Is that too strong to say?
Well, that might be a little out of character to say, since they are brother and sister.
Oh, I mean, in terms of an on-screen duo.
Well, could you imagine them in a role where they do play romantic interests opposite each other?
That could be interesting.
And they're singing and dancing. That would be quite the sight to see.
Grease 3, maybe. I don't know, but they were awesome.
The music outside of the songs, I thought, set the tone for the scenes, and a lot of the times the music that is playing is very jolty and sporadic with different noises, horns, drums. Yeah. Some of them follow a beat, some of them are totally random, and it didn't hit me until the very end of the movie, but the music is mimicking the Shakers dancing, because you'll see them on screen that, like, very randomly they'll jerk their arms or jerk their head or kick or something, and it collided with me towards the end of the movie, that the music, the sounds that they're using, it just was so well done. To really transport you into the scene.
I think I acknowledged that, but yeah, you put it into words. It really does mirror the dancing.
Yeah.
It's such a, and I was listening to the soundtrack a bit on its own, but I honestly feel that you sort of need the visuals with it to get the full experience, because it's sort of it is really uses the audio visual medium to the fullest power.
Really,
we can talk more. We can talk more about the music. I felt this was the director. What's her name? Mona something.
Yeah,
I was
Mona
just thinking about how
Fastvold.
I do. Maybe we should maybe we should watch her other movies. What's her full name? We should probably give her credit
Yeah,
too.
Mona Fastvold. Wait, I have the
Okay,
Fastvold. Yeah,
okay.
she I think wrote The Brutalist, which I did not see, but now I'm
Maybe we should
intrigued
revisit
to see
her
it.
other work. Okay, so as I was saying, very clever to think of doing a movie about the Shakers, because I was thinking, how in the world would you tell this story without a movie? You can't tell it with a book because you need to see it, right? You can't tell it with a painting because it needs to move. You need audio. It uses film it's the full power of a movie.
Yeah.
So those were my thoughts on that. I was just thinking, what a
Yeah,
some movies
she maximized all of the
Yeah.
senses. All of
She
the
used the
senses.
art. You feel like movies have the potential to be so powerful because you can tell a story, have audio and visuals, but they're often so lazy. But she uses everything so well. And maybe we can talk more about the specific songs as we go through the film. But as for the narration, I generally am not a fan of narrations, but I think I liked it here because one, it sort of sets up that this is not a true historical account. So it makes things that diverge from actual history more. It sort of puts you into a mindset that, okay, I'm not getting. This is sort of a myth, right? And the other thing is, it did feel very. I like the narration too because it felt very biblical, right? Because when you hear about Jesus, you hear his story through. This is when he was born, son of Joseph. These are the acts he did, right? So they're sort of mythologizing Anne Lee as the female Christ. And I think I read online that it was more so in the actual Shakers. They more so thought of her as having the spirit of Christ rather than being an actual second coming of Christ. But I did really enjoy that the movie played up that she is the female Christ, because I found this such a powerful archetype.
Yeah. And that's such a great point that didn't hit me with the narration, but you're so right that Anne Lee is a character that is deserving of narration in the same way that some sort of biblical narration would overlay something about Jesus or other male biblical figures.
Right. We only know about Jesus because of the Gospels. So the narration of this film is sort of the gospel of, I think, the character's Mary describing the life of Anne Lee.
Yeah.
So it really does. It does make her like Christ.
Yeah, and the again, to your point about not generally liking narration in movies, I felt similarly when it started out, because thinking back to that core principle that you should show, not tell, especially in a movie. But here, even with the narration, they still showed everything, and they showed it in gory, the most raw detail possible.
Talk about that.
They showed everything, which I really appreciated, and I thought the narration kind of helped guide you in and out of those scenes, ever so slightly, in a graceful kind of way.
Yeah, I think it worked. The other thing is, as Quentin Tarantino would say, you shouldn't do biopics, right? Because people's lives don't make good stories, and I generally agree with that. But I don't know, it works here because that's what a religious story is. It's a person's life to their death, right?
Yeah.
So it works here, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Where shall we go from here? What do you say?
Let's talk about Seyfried's performance. I thought this was unbelievable. One of the best performances I've ever seen in anything. And I only saw Seyfried in Twin Peaks. So I wasn't expecting. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I think the most recent thing I saw Amanda Seyfried in was in that movie about something Holmes, the Theranos lady.
What?
If you know what I'm talking about. Let me get the
No.
actual name. Elizabeth Holmes, I think.
Oh, wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
She played Elizabeth Holmes in the show. What was the show called? I can't find it. Whatever, that's beside the point. But the character that she portrays in the show about Elizabeth Holmes, she's like a mannequin. She's like a robot.
Uh-huh.
No human emotion. I mean, she's
Yeah.
playing someone who is psychopathic or psychotic. Yes,
maybe?
yeah, that's the correct word. So seeing her jump to this role was incredible. It was incredible seeing the range that she has. And I know that she was capable of delivering a dramatic performance in a musical. I haven't seen Les Miserables, but I know that she is.
Maybe we should see some of her other stuff. I think she was in Mamma Mia, too.
Yes, she is in Mamma Mia. That's a good point. Yeah. But she blew me away with her performance. I to see something so pure, just pure talent and emotion. It was just so raw. I can't imagine what the dramatic process was that she went through to kind of tap into some of those darker and heavier scenes. Yeah. I don't know how you can exhibit such emotion without having experienced those situations in life.
And she seems like a fairly bubbly person normally in interviews. So it's very
that's
interesting.
A good point.
But she plays it's a very difficult character to play convincingly, because imagine going up to someone on the street and telling them, okay, there's this movie about this woman. She's a puritanical lady that says you can't have sex from the 1700s. People would just think that's so stodgy and lame, but she really does pull you into the character and just fully immerse you.
I don't like stodgy things. Joanna, I told you I don't like stodgy things, Joanna.
What is that from?
From Phantom Thread.
Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. But the absolute range of this performance, it covers almost the whole spectrum of human emotion. You see her ecstatic with joy and passion. You see her depressed, very intense, almost insane looking. It's very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just it really is. It's heavy. It's so heavy to watch, because you pick up on all of those feelings, but at the same time, I feel like I could watch this movie. I could pick it up and watch it whenever, because of how watchable it is. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a very heavy topic, very heavy subject, but Mona Fastfold has really distilled it into this very, very watchable, very enjoyable work of art.
Maybe you find it more easily to pick up and watch. I feel like I need a cool down, like I was saying. It felt so intense.
It was so intense. Holy shit, yeah.
I think I need some more time before I watch it again.
That's very
If you
fair.
get a house, you could set up a home kino.
Oh,
that'd be quite the watch there.
Perhaps.
Well, how about we stop edging around and get into some of the scenes.
Yeah, let's dive on in. Let's fall off the cliff. Let's fall off the cliff on in.
Let's fall off the cliff and try and hold on to silverware. Okay, so I have some notes on overview of high level scenes. We see Anne Lee as a child. I found the setting of England very, very cozy in these scenes. I think there's a scene where they're working in, I want to say it's a cotton mill or something. I'm not too sure, but everything is practical, and you feel so immersed in it. So I enjoyed that. you can see she's not crazy about the whole fornication thing. Her father, her
Yeah.
father beats her because she's having issues with all of that.
Yeah, what was your take on that? I thought if anything, that was probably the one point of the movie that didn't hit me the way that I thought it should have, considering how important that is throughout the rest of the film.
Uh-huh.
Because yeah, we get this scene early on where she's a young girl and she is, I guess, stirring, going to sleep, and hears her parents having sex.
Yeah.
In the bed next to her, which is crazy.
There's no soundproofing in the 1700s.
But what I failed to realize or connect with was what issue she found with that. You know what I mean? I feel like that part didn't hit as hard as some of the later parts, if you know what I mean.
I mean, she's a child. I think she just finds it gross.
Yeah, she is a child. So I'm just curious what, other than that, because I feel like that being the defining reason, and I guess they do get more into it later on as she matures and becomes an adult and becomes a wife.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish that they had expanded a little more on that initial disdain towards pleasures of the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I could see what
I appreciated that exposition.
I think some people's demeanor is just more, they can find it gross.
Mm-hmm.
And ask a lot of children. I mean, boys think girls have cooties, right?
True, very true.
I think it makes sense, but I could see. I think it's just.
Yeah, I do think it makes sense. I just wish I wish it hit me as hard as some of the later scenes did. You know,
I can see that.
Hit me as hard as it did.
I felt it worked for me, but maybe you can write a complaint to Mona.
Yeah, and especially swatting her hands afterwards. That's yeah.
Yeah. So then I think that's the main thing from when she's a child. Then we get, I think it goes into her meeting her husband. I think his name's Abraham. I'm not.
Yeah, we get a few things. We see her, she gets older and she becomes a cook at the infirmary. Let's see what else. Yeah, but I think one thing that's important about throughout all this time, she's with William pretty much every step of the way. Whenever they're walking somewhere, they're hand in hand. They really are, beyond brother and sister. They have a shared soul, really.
Yes.
Which is by far the most important relationship, aside from her relationship with God throughout the movie. But we see her going to some of the early Quaker worships at.
Yes.
This says it's the home of James and Jane Wardley.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then, yes, eventually she does meet Abraham at one of the worships there.
Yes, who's a downright gooner.
Truly.
A veteran gooner.
Yeah.
He simply can't help himself. We get this scene. They're trying to look up kink or something for having intercourse. I forget why. I don't know if you remember what was going on exactly with that. But
very vaguely.
There's a sex scene where he's swatting her with something, or I forget exactly. But the thing I did note about that is that that sex scene and there's one later on are presented as very sterile and kind of gross. Whereas it's the worship that is more sensual.
Yes.
And intimate. So it's interesting, the dichotomy they set up there. But yes, she tries to have children with Abraham, and we get scenes of the failed childbirths and the failed infants. And this goes on for quite a while and is very brutal. And I've heard many people walked out of theaters at this.
Oh, really?
I myself really dislike any scenes of childbirth in any media.
Yeah.
I always hate it. And I kind of covered my eyes.
I don't blame you. It was graphic.
Yes.
It was very graphic.
You see the umbilical cords.
Yeah. It was it was oh yeah, well that aside from that. But the amount of pain that that Anne Lee endured and Amanda Seyfried portrayed was brutal. It was so brutal. Holy shit.
Yes.
And it happens 4 times, which is
I think you definitely, the scene is very powerful, and as much as I hated watching it, I do think you need it to show the brutality and the you could see why someone would go through this and think,
yeah,
this whole thing is just a mistake because it's so awful.
The music that plays and the song that accompanies this.
Yes, we should talk about that. I think it's Beautiful Treasures, right, which comes back in the end.
Yeah, that's right. But
unbelievable.
Beautiful Treasures was very heavy, but really with overlaid with the context of what's going on in the scenes, because the song itself it has that haunting beauty, it has that pious touch to it, and on its own, it's a very beautiful song. And without the context that while she's singing this song, she's going through the death of 4 of her children, one after another, that makes it really haunting and horrifying and just so sad.
Yeah, it's
so sad.
It's like it's as if you're thinking of something that'll take you to a happy place. Such a horrible time. I do think what do you think the beautiful treasures are in that song? At least the way it hit me when I was watching it is I felt like she was singing about the souls of her children.
Yeah. No, that's if not the children themselves, but their souls. And I'm glad that they don't really let that go to rest. That the death of her children is very present throughout the rest of the movie, and even later on, she makes mention that she's ready to be called home to God to be with her 4 children, which is beautiful and so sad at the same time.
Yes.
Beautiful treasures indeed.
We'll talk about it more in the ending because it comes back and it's glorious. But that happens.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
All right. So, where did we leave off? We get the scenes of her children dying, very, very brutal.
Yes.
After this, we get more scenes of the Shakers. I don't know if they're called the Shakers at this point, but we get
that's a good point. I don't know.
We get the confession scene, I think, and general scenes of them moving around and dancing. There's one scene where I was just beaming in joy of the pure aura of it. I think it's a duet. I think the song is "I Never Did Believe," where they're lifting the 2 men up, and it's like a sea of people. It's the bodies are like an ocean, and they're lifting the 2 men up above it, and they're singing, and it's just and it has a cello or something. It's so awesome.
Yes. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
I
That
might
was
clip that as
great.
the intro because see if they copyright me. Glorious,
Please don't.
glorious.
Why would they? Why would they? They need all the publicity they can get.
It has 1,000 views on YouTube, which is the same as the Grease Lightning analysis. Searchlight's marketing department should be ashamed. We need a confession from Searchlight's. I think that's the studio. Their marketing department.
Yeah, they need some. They need some
I
help.
shirked at work. I went on Instagram instead of promoting this film. Yeah, we get those scenes. I think they were probably my favorite parts of the movie. Was the full worships in England. I was fully hypnotized during those.
Yeah.
And then I think yes, after that they take. We see that the authorities are not happy. They're making too much noise. The Shakers are being too damn weird. So they send some goons, probably from King George or whoever it was.
George's
at the time.
goons.
Yeah, King George's Gestapo thugs come in to break
The King George, King George Ice came and broke it all up.
Yeah, 18th century ice raid for worshiping too damn hard. And then, yeah, I think I don't want to speak for you. I can't speak for you, but how could there be any other scene that's the complete standout than Amanda Seyfried singing "Hunger and Thirst"? Why don't you lay the scene, set up the scene for our audio listeners?
My God, that it still sticks in my head. If I close my eyes and I try to imagine, like that scene is so raw. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
So she's in prison, taken away by the thugs. She's in prison, and she refuses to eat or drink anything during her time, when she's in prison. And she kind of goes into this state where, like, exactly like what you said before, she looks like she's high on God.
Yes.
She's just embodied by the Spirit of the Lord and Savior. And she has a series of visions, and one of the visions, she levitates.
That was so awesome.
Yes, and I thought the way that they show it was so well done too, because I think if we did see a full body shot of her lifting off of the ground, it would have been very cheesy and out of place. But the way that they did it, where they only show her feet and then her facial reaction after, was it was stunning.
It's just a flash. Like you think, did that really happen? But and when it does happen, she looks like she's on ecstasy.
Yeah,
the gleam in her eyes. I've never seen such a compelling depiction. This was when my brain was tingling while watching this movie. I've never seen such a compelling depiction of faith in a movie.
Agreed. And then when we actually get a peek at the visions themselves that she has, the way that they portray them are so beautiful. It's artwork, like what you said earlier. It's literally a painting come to life that you get to witness. And I think the first one that she witnesses is Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And I honestly was so struck by that image that I tried to find it in one of the trailers or something in a YouTube video, just to like screenshot it so that way I can appreciate it for all it's worth. And it's just so well done. But pretty much the vision depicts the original sin, which was Adam and Eve having sex. And that
it was eating the apple, and according to the Bible, true. But there are interpretations, and that's her interpretation that it was them having sex. That's actually the real thing, the real sin.
Indeed, very, very astute.
Actually, I will just say also having the confidence to depict Adam and Eve on film is absolutely insane. So
Yes, right?
credit to Mona for being a Giga Chad filmmaker.
Yeah, she can't keep getting away with it, honestly.
How did she get away with all this stuff?
Just when you think of the things that never come off well when they're portrayed on screen, Adam and Eve being one. Well, I mean, you might say differently, but the birth and death of children in infancy.
I think it came off powerful and well. I just always hate watching it.
Yeah, it was very, very graphic. And then we get another vision of her. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think this occurs when she's in prison. It might occur after, but we get a vision of her. I like the title that shows. What was it? It's the 12 stars above and the moon at her feet, or something like that.
The woman clothed in the sun.
That's it.
And maybe the moon at her feet, or the 12 stars. Yeah, that's the gist of it. It's some.
I was searching. I think I literally spent a half an hour trying to find this image of Amanda Seyfried as Ann Lee depicted almost. I couldn't find a good definition for what the style or theme of it was. The best thing that I could find that kind of emanates the same feeling was this painting, American Progress. Are you familiar with American Progress? Maybe Jane can pull it up.
Let's see if we can find it.
But it was so strange because it has this romantic.
Oh wow! Yeah,
it has this romantic
woman flying across the American landscape into the dark.
It struck me as this. It's like this romantic painting, but it has this patriotic American feel to it.
Sort of like the Statue of Liberty, even though I don't know if that probably wasn't a thing. I mean, that wouldn't have been a thing yet, right? But
no,
it's a similar.
Very similar.
She basically envisions herself sort of in the end of the Divine Comedy. They describe all the souls enthroned in heaven. It's similar to that. She does envision herself basically in heaven as sort of a deity.
Yeah, and part of the direction on Mona's behalf, I would have to believe it was her direction, but we only get to see these things for a split second, which I thought was brilliant, because it doesn't leave you with enough time to soak it in and appreciate it, but it lingers in your mind.
It really does make you feel like you're having a vision.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
to be part of that experience.
Out of control. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the song? It almost is sort of mysterious.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
The song was great. The shots of Amanda laying on her side, so she's horizontal on screen, seemingly laying on a stack of hay or something, and singing and toiling in where she's laying. It was beautiful. It was breathtaking. And that makes me think of another thing. At one point in her incarceration, she grows hair all over her body. And then it sheds off.
I forgot that. That was weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. I didn't know what to make of it during the time that it happened, but she even mentions it later on when she's back with all of her Quaker buddies and telling them about what she's experienced. I still don't know what to make of her growing all these blonde hairs all over her body, and then they all just sort of disappear. I don't know what to make of that.
That's beyond even me. I don't know.
But that song, what's your take on the song?
Awesome. I was fully hypnotized.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
right there with you.
I don't know if I have much more to say. I like that the songs are repetitive, but in a good way. That it's sort of like waves coming up on the shore, and
Mhm.
you know the next wave's going to come, and the anticipation comes, and then the next, and then it hits you, and then it has a new quality every time
Yes.
the chorus or the verse comes in again.
Yeah, that's
And
a great way to
it was just so powerful.
agree.
I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. It might be the best scene in a film I've seen. I don't know. I might change my mind later. Either that or Grease Lightning. But
This car is automatic.
Yeah, just so well said. Very well said, Nick.
yeah.
Very well said.
Anyway,
Yeah, shall we proceed
that
in
happens.
Anne's journey?
yes, that happens, and then she brings it back, the vision back to the James and Jane, and I really enjoyed that they all support her. You could,
Mhm.
and this is when we see. Oh, she also tells William to stop being gay, which is kind of funny.
Uh-huh.
She says, "Yeah," she says, "Cut your hair, brother." So, yeah, stop being gay, and then yes, they all stand by her, and I really liked. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed that they are not resentful, even though she's a woman, and then we sort of see her posse grow. She's storming into churches, preaching the word, and this stuff is all glorious to behold.
Mm-hmm. Very
Especially the
righteous.
shots of her in the churches are awesome.
Yeah, that was very cool. It was, dare I say it, it was a girl boss moment. I'm not
She was
afraid
a
to
girl
say
boss.
that. Yeah, really well done. Just so well executed in his portrayal, because it could have been a big stumble. It really could have.
This could have come off as very, like you said, girl boss and annoying and shrill, but I was fully bought in. I probably would have been following Anne Lee around in the 1700s.
Yeah, and I think the underlying thing that distinguishes it from, like pure feminism, not that this isn't feminist, it certainly is, but Anne really doesn't care. If she was a man, she'd be doing the same thing, which maybe that in and of itself is feminism, but she's not doing it because she's a woman or because she's empowered. She's just doing it because she has such an unapologetic belief in God and the way that God should be worshipped, which I thought was really refreshing to witness.
Yeah, she didn't come off as annoying at all or feminist at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just very well done. I don't know if I have.
Yeah, but then shortly after that, she gets hit in the head by a rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me.
Oh,
Yeah, they throw a rock. They throw a rock
really
at her.
Gruesome. It was really gruesome.
Her head gets split open.
Oh God.
Some old English boomer won't have it.
Yeah, some bloody bloke in the streets of Manchester.
Yeah.
Like, oh, quiet down now.
Throws a rock at her.
Mm-hmm.
Getting hit in the head with a rock, and she says, and this was interesting because it does sort of make you think, oh, I could see why people would come to America. You're getting harassed in England. It's a small, tiny, rainy place. Just get on the boat and leave. And she does. There are some scenes where she plans out how she's going to charter to America.
Yes.
I don't, stop me if there's anything in between, but we get a fun series of scenes on the boat. Yes. Where she has some visions as a musical number. Very, very fun. I liked all the different costumes.
I do. I like that scene a lot. I do want to point out, and I'm curious if you're familiar, but in the course of their dancing on the deck of the ship, I got this very uncanny kind of deja vu feeling where I thought about voguing. Are you familiar with voguing?
No.
Maybe Jamie can pull up some examples of voguing, but their arm gestures and movements it was very reminiscent of voguing to
Interesting.
me. I just wanted to get your take on it.
What is voguing?
So
What is
voguing, it's like I don't know much about it. It's really just, it's kind of like a dance that's very expressionalist of the human body, where you're using your hands and your arms and your head and your legs, and it's kind of all going in different directions. But I just kind of got that vibe from their chanting and dancing. So I wanted to bring it to the discussion.
Okay, I'm not familiar with this, but it's certainly plausible that it's influenced the film if it's similar. I don't know.
Perhaps
It's hard for me to recall the exact moves, but maybe.
Yeah.
I guess do you have a strong take on it?
No, I really liked the scene.
Okay.
I really liked it. I thought it was cool how she kind of won over the shipmates, the seamen, if I may,
Yes.
the seamen aboard.
The men of the sea.
What was the name of the ship? Oh, it was called the Mariah. The Mariah.
Very good recall.
Yeah, it was a nice scene.
Yes.
It was a nice scene.
Yes. I felt that it was nice to get a scene on the open ocean, though there is some drama in it after having to witness 4 failed.
Yeah, and exactly to the point of the narration, they very well could have just said, so they traveled to America, and the next scene is them arriving in New York City. But
Yeah,
they didn't. They gave us the whole Knish, really.
Get it. Show and tell.
Boom. Big boom.
Yeah, give our listeners a bit of a recap of what's going on once they get to America.
Yes.
Or
yes.
if anything in particular that jumps out at you.
Well, let's see. So they arrive in America. I don't remember any of the finer details, but I do know that the next thing they do when they get on shore, they need to search for housing, for room and board. And they find their room and board at the home of, I don't remember the woman's name, but she's
Could you not remember her name?
Some wealthy woman.
How do you not remember the name?
What was her name? I don't remember.
Pretty sure it was Cunningham.
No, you're right. Oh my God. Holy shit.
How did you forget?
Very good, Nick.
I'm pretty sure at least.
No, I think you're right. Because I distinctly remember them saying Cunningham in that English Manchester.
You something.
Very good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she travels there. I think it's important to mention she travels there with her brother, of course, this guy Hocknell, who is a wealthy dude who's pretty much funding the whole trip, along with his son. They've also brought along Mary, right? She's the narrator.
Yes.
Mary and I get, is it like her cousin? I don't remember her name.
Nancy?
Yeah, I think it is Nancy. Yeah, that sounds right. Nancy,
Yeah,
and then of course her husband as well is there. But a big kind of earth-shattering moment for Hocknell. His son and Nancy fornicate with each other.
They do it in a privy, right?
Yeah. I
think.
Yeah, really
they
gross.
were with each other earlier on. That's what I mean. The sex scenes are gross.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the Hocknell father, right? He walks in on them and he's not happy.
His reaction was great. His reaction was so good.
He's just biting. I forget what he says, but he just looks like he just saw the nastiest.
Yeah.
It looks like he just watched Gotti or something. It looks like he just watched
Yeah. Yeah. His reaction was great. But unfortunately, they have to depart the group because
Bye-bye.
that type of behavior does not stand.
Hell no. I forget who Anne Lee's talking to after, but she's telling somebody in a scene about how love is a beautiful thing, but the kind of love they're getting into will lead only to ruin.
Yeah. Very good.
And it is, yeah, you really get the sense of her as a spiritual leader. And yeah, they depart the group. I don't know if I have too much more on that. I did find that whole scene cozy. I liked the settings in America.
As did
I feel that it was interesting getting the juxtaposition of England and America too. As a side note, I think while I do prefer the luxury of the scenes in England, I do like that you get the contrast of that with the more rugged and wild colonies. It's nice. But
yeah.
then what happens after that? They go off.
Well, yeah, this is an interesting point. So the group kind of splits. So
Yeah.
William and Hucknell, I don't know if anyone else goes with them. I know that they meet their Sherpa guide, frontiersman feller, but Hucknell and William leave to go find a plot of land for them to settle on, while Anne, Mary, and Abraham stay behind in New York City.
So our inveterate Gooner, he says, I forget, he says 6 or 7 years. 6, 7. I forget if he actually said 6, 7. It's
How
around 6
dare you?
years. All he's been doing is gooning and drinking brewskis. And he comes up to Ann Lee and he says, I'm tired of this. I need that. What's the term for it?
The sweet ice spice mocha latte from Dunkin' Donuts.
He wants it. He is willing to do it in a way that won't get her pregnant, but she's not having it. She says, "You're a gooner. You're disgusting." And then I forget who it is. There's some woman that's there that he just on the spot marries.
Yeah.
And then he starts having intercourse with her in the room.
Some tavern wench, really.
And Ann Lee is just disgusted. I was very disappointed in Abraham. I found him just disgraceful.
Yeah, as did I. I feel like if there was anything that I knew was coming in the movie, I think when Anne proclaimed that everyone that's a Shaker needs to be celibate, I felt like I could pick up a little bit that Abraham was not gonna. He wasn't gonna last.
Maybe you missed it. They do foreshadow that.
Oh, do they? Do they?
They do say that. They say something like Mary will be far more loyal to her than Abraham.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Maybe your brain noticed it, but you didn't.
Perhaps, yeah. My subconscious probably made me think it was an original thought.
Just deluded yourself.
Indeed.
I'm so smart. I picked up on all this. Anyway, they're in America.
They're in America. Mary is no longer betrothed to Abraham. I wonder whatever happened to Abraham. Probably died in an alleyway getting sucked off.
I literally had that thought before you said it. My mind jumped in drunk and dead in the alley.
Yeah. Yep. Very befitting of his character.
You gotta. I don't know what to tell you. He's a loser. He's a disgrace. Yep. We get a wild scene where the guy, his finger gets guided to the location of the church. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, and I think what was even more kind of I guess out there was before that scene, we get a scene of them camping in the wilderness, and Hocknell is praying to God, and he's speaking out loud, and what I found was so interesting is that he was saying anything that he was feeling. He was literally brandishing his entire self, his soul, out loud. And there's even a point where he gets very annoyed or frustrated with one of the people trying to talk to him while he's praying, and he incorporates it into his prayer where he's saying,
it's sort of just total stream of consciousness.
Yes, I thought that was.
They don't hold anything back. I think it cuts to it in the morning. It makes you think he's been praying all night. Maybe he has.
Yeah, that's the other part. Is they ask him? They're like, "Did you get any sleep last night?" And he's. It doesn't seem like he did in the next morning, but I thought it was really wacky to witness.
And we get a kind of wacky scene where they're singing while they're running to the church or the location of the church. And I feel like in another movie, I would think it's corny and not like it, but I was just so into it that I was just this is kind of fun.
Same. And I liked the song too. I thought the song that they sang,
"We Follow," it's or something like that.
And this is also when he proclaims that 'twas not his imagination, but a divine inspiration that led him to this land. Which honestly is one of the key phrases that sticks out in my mind from having watched it.
Same regarding her visions too.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And I do also want to give credit. I sadly can't remember. Do you remember the name of the younger guy with them? I really like this guy's performance.
No, I don't. And let me see if I can find in the cast list.
It's hard to tell because all white people look alike. So.
I know. Maybe it was. I'm seeing James Whittaker. I don't think we've said that name before.
The younger guy?
Yes, younger guy. Yes, it's the character's name is James Whittaker, portrayed by Matthew Beard, an English actor.
Oh yeah, that's him. I really like he was a smaller role, but I really this guy had a lot of intensity whenever he delivered. So I really enjoyed him.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway, they established the church, right? I'm a little jumbled on the chronology, but I want to discuss a bit about the confession scene with Ann Lee. It's a mirror of the scene earlier in the movie where the young man gives the confession about having lustful thoughts. So they're in the new congregation in the Americas, and Ann Lee is sort of leading them, and she's asking about who wants to confess, or she's extolling the value of open confession, similar to before. And I really enjoyed the scene. I'm surprised you're foggy on it, because she singles out this one young woman, and she says something like, "You have 7 children at such a young age. Surely you don't value all of them the same." And so Ann Lee, as someone who lost 4 children, sort of zones in on this. She singles out this young woman, and she gets her to confess that she basically just wants to leave one of her children in a well. And Amanda Seyfried's so amazing in this scene, because you get the sense that there's just so much emotion in her, that there's some resentment maybe.
Yes, she's really battling her personal feelings with her belief in God and forgiveness.
Because she's
such a great point.
Because she's seeing someone who's willing to she has excess of what she could never have, and she's willing to get rid of it. And it's on one hand, she knows she knows God will forgive her, right? And everyone has bad thoughts, and it's good. But at the other hand, it's how could you not be a bit annoyed?
Mm-hmm.
So we get that scene, and then I think we get various scenes of William going around proselytizing.
Yeah, she sends William out kind of on a
Williams and Lee's top guy.
she really he really is. He really is. And Lee chose him. Chose him.
William,
Yeah.
you're so hunked up and shredded. I have no choice but to make you establish a congregation.
She chose him to lead the revolution. And he has a great song when he's going around. And this is, I guess, kind of like a little side plot, really, where he goes to, I don't know what faith the people in the village are practicing, but I like that actor. What is that actor's name who plays the preacher? Tim Blake Nelson, that's his name. Yeah, I thought he did a really good job. He plays Pastor Reuben Wright at this congregation, I guess a couple towns over. I think William says they're 10 miles away. And during this time, there's a solar eclipse. And
I wanted to talk about the eclipse. That's a big, I think that was a pretty elaborate shot too, from what I read.
Yeah.
How they did that. Yeah.
And I guess the preacher, he stakes a lot of his homily, or whatever the right word is, whatever he's preaching, whatever his sermon is based around the solar eclipse. And it doesn't.
I mean, he was QAnon.
Yeah, he was.
He was adding up numbers in the Bible. And
yeah, it's pretty out there what he's preaching, and it doesn't come true. And I think in that moment of vulnerability, I suppose, that's when William kind of gets in and stakes a claim for Shakers and Mother Ann.
Yeah.
And they follow, and they go to, I think they go to the Shaker community. It's not the other way around, I think.
I think so. I'm a little foggy on it, but I think the emphasis, and they do say something like what we were talking about earlier, that Anne's not preaching brimstone and fire.
Yes.
And that the world's going to end.
Yes.
So it's, after you see it failed, after the world doesn't end in 2012 because of Nibiru, they reevaluate. They're reiterating.
William has this great song, "Bow Down, O Zion."
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. It was really good.
I remember really enjoying that song in particular, William. It really feels like they're singing. I mean, I'm sure they do the songs in a recording studio, but it really does feel like they're singing in a church.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound too perfect. It sounds quite authentic, like a man just bursting out into song for God. It's so awesome.
Agreed. It does flow. It just fits very well, and it aligns with the way that they worship. It makes sense for them to break into song as Shakers.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated. I really appreciated.
Yeah, all the musical elements fit so well, and it never felt forced.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I think there's a few. We get one scene. We get a few scenes where they're, I think, worshiping, or sort of. We start to see the congregation growing.
Yes.
We see them. I don't know if I have too much to say on that. There's one song, it's "I Love Mother."
Yeah,
I found it a little creepy.
I did too. I
was thinking of changing it to "I Love AI" or something. It was definitely. I definitely felt that I liked it, but it seemed to. There is sort of a sense that this is a cult, and I felt that song sort of, and all the people are moving sort of. I don't know if mechanical is the right word.
Yeah, no, they are. They're moving in rhythm. They're moving in beat, and to that point, about this song and the visual that's going on while the song is being sung is we kind of get a glimpse into Shaker life, and we get to see some of the Shaker furniture and the way that they live and just the communal aspects of everything. This, unfortunately for me, I thought it was a little bit of a stumble on their part.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I nitpick it so hard. Probably because it's about the only thing that I can nitpick is there's a very specific scene where they're peeling apples with this mechanical apple peeler, and I looked it up. I looked it up after because I just felt it was really out of place. And that kind of mechanical apple peeler was not invented until the mid 1800s. So I was a little disappointed by that.
All right. Mona,
that's the one faux pas.
Mona, you getting demerited for an apple peeler that didn't exist.
But I thought it was cool to see that kind of glimpse into Shaker life, to see the community that Mother Ann built in God's name.
Sort of a well-oiled machine running on its own.
Well put.
An apple peeler. Do you think it relates to the apple from that Eve ate?
Whoa, that's damn. Perhaps. I wouldn't be surprised.
Who knows?
That's what their goal was, to make that connection. They're peeling the apple. There's a lot to be said in peeling the apple, to exposing the flesh or what's beneath the flesh, and brandishing all in confession.
Interesting. Wow. We also sort of get this dynamic. Now, I will say, I do like the scenes where you see them all dancing around too at night. That's gives you a glimpse to what they did for fun. And we start to see. It's also interesting that this movie doesn't really have a villain, and I don't think it needed one. But we do start to get some hints that the colonial government or some local authorities and other people are not really happy about the Shakers. They think they might have loyalties to the British.
Yes. The Continental Army and the provisional government.
George Washington's goons. I guess the villain of the story is George Washington.
G.W. Washington.
G.W. Oh, yeah. First it's the Whiskey Rebellion and then this. I mean, chronologically, it'd probably be the other way around. But we get a sense that they're not happy because the Shakers are weird, sort of possibly considered witches that dance naked.
Oh yeah.
And they're not happy about it. And then we get, I think this comes to a head when they burn down their place of worship. Walk us through this, or let us know your thoughts about this and Washington's goons.
Well, yeah, so there is the scene where she gets arrested, and I really like the scene that happens before this, where William gets back from one of his journeys and his feet are all blistered and bashed, and Mother Ann washes the feet of William, which I thought was perfect. I mean, it's biblical. It's literally Jesus. She is literally Jesus washing the feet of the masses. Not to say that William is part of the masses.
I literally didn't pick up on that.
Right?
I'm too low IQ, but you're right.
Like I just thought it was so perfect. She's washing William's feet, and William's telling her, he's kind of informing her about what's going on in the outside world, because really Mother Ann, she doesn't get to experience what's going on outside of the community, the news, what's going on with the war, if there is a war, everything that's going on outside of the community. And William tells her a few things. He tells her about the witchcraft the suspected witchcraft that's going on. He tells her about the Continental Army trying to, gain loyalty amongst the villagers throughout the colonies. And Anne makes a point of saying that someone from the Continental Army came by to pretty much demand their loyalty to the Continental Army, and Anne says that we couldn't, she couldn't preach or vow loyalty to the Continental Army because the Shakers they're non-aggressive. They are pacifists. They don't believe in violence and fighting back for really any matter. They don't believe in violence in any regard. And then that comes to the scene where Mother Anne is arrested. And I don't know if anything crazy happens during her time in prison here, but
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
They're getting more worn down from all of it.
Yes, but she is ultimately released because the governor of New York at the time, I guess, was sympathetic to the Shakers and the Quakers. So he had her released from prison. So I think because of that, there was more bad faith with the Continental Army and those who weren't loyal to England and the king. So that kind of all comes to a head when they go to a local farm nearby to do worship and commune with the other village, and that's when we get the big climactic scene at the very end where they get attacked. Do you want to take us through the attack?
Yeah, so 1 second, I was just sending a meme. Yeah, basically they go to this barn, and I thought we were gonna get a big musical number.
Yeah, right?
we evidently don't get a musical number. George Washington's goons, his thugs, break it up. They're trying to hide Anne Lee. I did like that Anne Lee runs out after William because she could have just stayed hidden. But
yeah,
I like that the two of them are inseparable and never they stick by each other till the end.
Yes.
We get. Yeah, I mean, they just get brutalized by George Washington's goons. Anne Lee gets beat up and molested. The others get beat. The young man actually says, "Forgive them. They don't know what they do." This scene is Anne Lee's crucifixion.
Yeah, it really is.
And they burn everything down. I hate to see our heroes brutalized by George Washington's goons.
And Mary loses an eye. So someone stabs her in the eye with something. Yeah. They rip off Anne Lee's kilt or something. I don't know what the proper terminology for it is. And yeah, I guess in the vein of witchcraft, they point out that her genitals are. I don't know. I don't even remember what they say.
Yeah, I forget. I think they thought witches had a phallus or something. I wasn't too sure of what to make of that, but I think the gist is they think she's a witch or something.
Yeah. But then they leave them to die pretty much. But
they leave them on a.
Thankfully, they do survive, or at least William, Anne, and Mary survive the attack. And
the young whatever his name was, Matthew Beard, the actor. They survived,
right?
No, he survives till the end.
Oh, he did? Oh, that's good.
They say William dies. I don't know if he died after this. They say he died in one of the winters, so I wasn't sure if it was this or a later one. But they get beaten almost to death. So, and then we get a nice scene where they're on the wagon going away. And Anne Lee sings to William. I found this very sweet.
Yes.
And then
it's very touching.
We get the two. I don't know if there's been I don't know if you get the archetype of the inseparable brother and sister in too many movies, but I did always enjoy it here. Anne and William.
Yeah, that was a beautiful relationship to see on screen.
Yeah. Why don't you take us through the ending, the
Mm.
keynote, the real keynote we're getting into here.
Yeah. Let me think. Let me reminisce. So William passes away, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Mary's blind, and they're sitting in an apple orchard, right? It is an apple orchard.
Is it? Oh,
I think it was.
Probably.
But Anne is sitting with Mary, and they're talking and they're reminiscing, and you can tell that Anne has aged. She's visibly older.
Mhm.
She's still kind of shaken, frankly, from that attack. I don't think that has really left her. And she is kind of losing her mind. She's losing her faculties because she totally forgets that William has died, because she asks why he hasn't made himself present to her.
Yes.
And we get it's kind of a touching moment with her and Mary, and Anne talks about being reunited with her four children in heaven, which was very beautiful. A beautiful callback to a really gruesome part of her life.
She talks about William coming to get her too.
That's right.
On a chariot,
That is right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah, really very touching.
Yeah, but take us through the funeral scene.
Yeah, then Anne.
This is when I was fully hypnotized.
Yes, this was hypnotic, and to the point that you made earlier about the "I Love Mother" song and everything going on. That's kind of what it felt like with the funeral as well, where we get to see. Well, Anne passes away, and we still get to see the community thriving. And I think it's also important to mention that over top of all this, Beautiful Treasures is playing, but it's a much more solemn, much more,
and with a full chorus too. I think.
Yes, yeah, we have
which we didn't get in the first version.
That's right. That is a really important detail about this song.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved watching them build the casket, which I thought was so interesting, mostly because of the joinery that they used. I don't know what type of joinery that is, but they pretty much built the coffin without any nails or screws, because all of the wooden pieces kind of interlock with each other, which I thought was really incredible. And we get scenes of them kind of bathing Anne's body, her deceased body, which was it was sad. It was sad, but I thought it was kind of comforting to see that the Shaker community could be autonomous and survive without Mother Anne. I thought that was comforting. Yeah, that's right. And William too. William's
the leadership is going ad hoc now.
Yeah. And the funeral, they're gathered in. I honestly don't remember much else about the funeral other than
I just remember the choreography was wild to witness.
Oh yeah. Yeah, aren't they walking around the casket? Is that right?
It's sort of not. It's not really a dance, but it's just there's aerial shots of the patterns they're making, and it's just while the song plays, and it just I don't think there's any dialogue. You just see them sort of walking in these like insane patterns,
concentric circles.
It was just a feast for the eyes, a feast for the senses, really.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. And then it ends, and they show some text on screen that says, I guess at its peak there were 6,000 Shakers in America, and then as of current, like you said earlier, there's only 2 Shakers left as of 2025.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, well,
crazy that there's even some still alive.
That leads me to I think that was a good synopsis, but let's get into some high level questions. Was Ann Lee right?
Whoa. you want to give your answer first?
No, you give yours.
Was Ann Lee right? I don't think so. One way or the other, I don't think so. I don't think she was right. But I can understand why people believed her and followed her and loved her. Because I think that if I were back in the day and I bared witness to what occurred, I think I would give myself to the Lord at her command.
Yes, life was, the material conditions were a lot worse in many ways. So yes, was Ann Lee right?
I do think that there are pieces of truth in what she preached, but I don't think that she's right. Mostly because I don't think anybody's right on that matter. You know?
Yeah, I would give her a maybe. She might be onto something.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the values of the Shaker faith, I think, resonate with me more than certainly the Catholic religion, any sort of Christianity. I think.
I mean, yeah, I think it's just. I do feel like it resonated with me more because Catholicism, you just memorize stuff. There's no. It's just all a rigid. It's all a bureaucracy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ann Lee might be right. I mean, we do live in hell, so there is something to be said. There is something to be said for just never bringing a child into the world. So maybe she's right. I probably would have followed her. All right.
I think I would have.
What I wanted to get at earlier. Do you think they're having sex with God, for as vulgar as that might be, when they're dancing?
Ooh. Whoa.
Do you think? Because I took it sort of that they're channeling their sexual energy into their worship.
That's a really interesting point to make. I can see that. I certainly can see that. I don't know. I think for them, and this begs another question that I'll ask afterward. Or maybe I'll ask it now. People who grew up in the Shaker faith, do they have any sexuality? If they're not exposed to any sort of sexuality, which they probably won't be outside of their community in the Shaker faith, I don't know if I would call it sexuality, but I think for lack of a better term, sexuality is right, but I think it's more so just their bodily, human, earthly being that they're giving. And I think one of the ways that humans express emotion through their bodily form is through sexual acts. That's one of the most intimate things you can do with another human being. So yeah, I think I was a little on the fence, but I think I do agree. I think that in their worship, in the way that they're using their body for worship, it is really kind of having sex with God. Which is crazy to say.
Remember, Ann Lee's husband is God.
That's right. She's married. She's married to
they're
Jesus.
They're on a 10,000 day no fap streak.
Holy shit.
Their vril levels are off the charts.
No fap lifetime.
I think they got to be using the dancing and the worship as an outlet for that energy. All right, here's a more funny one, and I'll let you give some any high level topics after, but I was going to show this meme at the start of the show, but I'll describe it for our listeners, and we can have a little fun with this topic. So the meme, let me know if you can see it.
I can see it.
So the meme we have.
No!
How dare you! Oh God!
Oh
Our
no!
audio listeners on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, we have on the left
Oh.
Ann Lee saying, "At least I will be reunited with my children," and then we have a very smug Dante Alighieri on the right side of the screen.
You smug bastard, Dante.
My question is, what would Dante say about all this? Where
Amen.
is Ann Lee, and where are her children according to Dante?
Oh man, well, I think according to Dante, those poor children they're at the very top of hell. Those poor children who unfortunately were not baptized in
Well,
Christ.
unless they were baptized, but I don't think they were.
So sad. So sad. But maybe I don't know where to place Anne, because
yes, that's the question. Where do you place Ann Lee?
Yeah, I mean she is going to hell by Dante's standards, right?
Probably.
I don't know what for. Maybe for being a blasphemer.
I was thinking he'd put her as a heretic because she wasn't Catholic.
Yeah, unfortunately.
She's with the Epicureans though. Unfortunately, well,
that is quite the meme though. That's so good. Those poor children.
Well, at least they'll be in hell together. Maybe they'll allow trips between the circles.
Yeah, we'll have to get Virgil down there to maybe take Anne in between to visit her children, or the Archangel Michael.
Oh yeah,
Michael go down.
Have John Travolta go down and fix things.
He's the only one.
Oh shit! Wait, how could we forget? How could we forget?
What?
We gotta rate it.
Oh yes, we do. I think one thing about the female, I thought it was so refreshing or really new to see a woman as God, because women are always portrayed as holy figures in the church, and even in certain circumstances as the devil. Sometimes women are portrayed as. So seeing a woman really as the head of a church was really fascinating, and it really did beg the question that why were only men, other than men asserting the patriarchy upon women. Really, that's my take. But I thought it was great to see.
It was very refreshing and made me think a lot. Maybe God is a woman. I mean, God's got to be both.
I do. You know what? I do believe that in Ann Lee. I think Ann Lee's right about that. That God is both man and woman.
I mean, they're both. There's certainly both aspects of being. All right. It left a lot for you to chew on, listeners.
Yeah.
We got the scale up. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not even gonna bother with the bottom
scale.
You got Cinema or Kino? I'd give it Kino.
Yeah. I would give it Kino as well. And honestly, if there was something above Kino, I think I would give it that.
Maybe we need a secret tier list for our patrons to see.
Omnipotent deity God something or other tier. That's where the Testament of Ann Lee belongs. But honestly, I think this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. I don't have anything to compare it to. Do you have anything to compare it to?
No,
there's nothing.
I don't.
There's nothing.
It's definitely one of the best films. I don't want to say it's the best, just because that's such a provocative statement. But I don't have anything to. I don't know if any film has been so transcendent on this level, especially for such heavy themes to pull it off so well. Unfortunately, it has only grossed 1.79 million.
What?
Yeah, that's a shame.
Oh my god.
I don't know what to tell you guys. All right.
It's what it is.
Fuck you! I don't know what to say. I mean, what a failure of marketing.
That is a shame. That is
To
a
our
shame.
to our 10 listeners, please go see it.
Yeah, honestly, I've been telling everyone that I talk to in the course of regular life, I've been saying that they should go see this movie because it deserves to be seen.
I mean, it's just so sad if more films don't get made like this, especially from this director, because of the. I mean, what, dude? Are we serious right now? People are going to see Iron Lung with Markiplier.
Oh, what? God.
Yeah, dude, Markiplier's in this. I'm pretty sure.
Jesus.
Yeah, Markiplier.
Mercy looks like the biggest pile of dog shit ever. Like I feel like I've seen every time I go on YouTube, I get an ad for Mercy. Just looks.
People are
so
going
bad.
to see Send Help, Zootopia 2.
What the hell?
Oh well, I think Amanda Seyfried's in The Housemaid too, so at least boost her.
Oh,
If you see that,
Melania. Are we going to review Melania?
is this real, chat?
Yeah, Melania is real.
Marty, did you see Marty Supreme?
No, I didn't see Marty Supreme.
Yeah, I thought it sucked. Don't see it. It literally is the first scene in the movie is as I said before, it's the
look who's killing themselves now.
It's literally the same shot of sperm impregnating an egg, but it's with Marty Supreme and his girlfriend in the back of a shoe store.
Gross.
And then there's a scene where there's a guy and everybody licks honey off his body.
Ah, jeez, dude.
Yeah, go see that instead of The Testament of Anne Lee. I don't know what to tell you. I thought this movie was pretty good. Go see it. Made no money. Such is life. Anything to close out the show with?
Well, all I want to say is Travis was right. Release the Epstein files, and they have. It's all Travis is doing.
I mean, is that shit real?
Jeez. Here, you know what?
Ah, jeez, dude.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I feel like Donald's just like.
I don't know what to tell you guys. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you, listeners. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Boost our numbers, please.